There we go.
All right.
Scoot in.
Snake, I unlocked the cargo door for
You have to be close enough to the microphone.
If I scoot in any closer, I'll be giving you a lap dance.
Ooh.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so for this episode, it's going to be a little bit different because I've already played this. We're watching footage that I've gone over already.
What does that mean?
Franz, you haven't seen this footage before.
I haven't seen this footage before, but I've seen this sequence of the story.
So what happened is we went through this part of the game already, and segments after this are already recorded. But the issue that we ran into...
Okay, so
I'm gonna
we'll
let
meet
them
at the
talk for a
nuclear
second.
warhead storage building.
Wait, you said you'd stay put and be a good girl.
I changed my mind.
Don't get careless. That's when things always turn sour.
What was I saying?
Sorry.
I totally
but
lost
this
my
is
train of
the
thought
only
because I
way
stopped
can
thinking for a
figure
second.
whether or
We're talking
not
about the
I'm cut
issue
out
that
to
we
be a
had
soldier.
this specific
With
episode.
this specific
hands
episode,
dirty.
we recorded over an hour of footage, almost an hour and a half of footage, and then my power went out.
See you there.
So we had all the video and none of our commentary, and I was like, Franz, what should we do? And his response was, I don't know. Something akin to that, right?
Yeah, it was like, let's see if we can recover it once the... And then we spent an equal amount of time, about 45 minutes to an hour, trying to salvage this audio,
Yes.
and it blew up in our face.
It did not work. So what I did was I was initially going to just cut up all the stuff together, and then we were going to sit down and do commentary on that. And then I went, well, okay, we can use the commentary over the video, and instead what I can do is just go through those segments, record the codec calls and, the cinematics and stuff, and then input that audio. And then I was like, that's way more complicated than it needs to be. I could not aim because your fucking inverted shit was on. I could not fucking aim to save my life. Look at how bad I was because of you. I can't even hit him.
This is what happens when people have two separate play styles.
Oh, man.
It doesn't work. Oh my god, that door locked because the alarm's
No,
on.
it's level 4. We don't have the level 3 keycard at this point.
Okay.
See, look at there's the mine detector I was telling you about.
How did we miss that?
Because we didn't come up here.
did.
Clear.
Oh, you can't hear the music. Lean in.
That dude backed up real fast.
But yeah, I sped this part up because as I was doing this portion, I didn't know how long I was going to spend in the locker, so I literally got up and just went and did something else. Like, my aunt was like, hey, I'm doing the laundry, can you take your stuff out? I was like, oh yeah, and I just got up and just left the console for a second. The computer, rather. Also, I found out there's a ration under this desk on the second floor.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I initially was just like, oh, well, we'll just cut the audio from the, what do you call it? From this footage that we're seeing now, and just put it into the footage we had before, and then just fill in the empty gaps of just raw silence with some public domain music like I used in the locker. And then I was like, that seems way more complicated than it needs to be, and I called Franz who was at work and went, hey, I recorded new stuff, you want to just do commentary over that because it'd be way easier? And he's like, and because this is a collaborative project, I figure, your input's very valid.
There you go.
Yeah. And I was just like, does that sound like a better idea? He goes, that sounds like a better idea. And I'm like, it's only about 20 minutes long. You just want to come over and record it today? And he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Normally we do our,
He doesn't see me. Look at how cool I am.
He was looking right at you when you got in the box.
You're just not as good at Metal Gear as me.
No, I just hate the fact that right in the beginning.
Now he wants to check the box out.
Nothing here.
Okay.
Hold on. What are you doing out there?
No,
Who is that? Enemy sighted. Requesting backup.
God.
I can't shoot because of that bullshit. Like I said, I had to adjust the settings after. Okay, you were saying.
I don't remember.
Oh
That
god.
was so funny.
Can you guess what I did for the next minute and a half or so?
Is
You're not wrong.
that exactly the music?
That's not the music I used, but that is pretty close.
Okay.
Actually, not close at all, but whatever.
Yeah. No, what was I gonna say? We normally do our recording on Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays. Today
Yeah.
is Friday.
Today's Friday. And I have work tomorrow. Like, we usually do our recordings on Wednesdays because Cody and I have mutual days off. And like I had to think really, really long and hard about whether or not I wanted to come over here and do this thing. Oh, that guy sees you.
Nah, it's fine.
Nah, you're good. God. What the hell is that guy doing?
You'll see.
Is he rubbing one out?
Normally I'd be like, that's crazy, what are you talking about? But this is Metal Gear, so that's actually quite feasible. But no, he is not. See? And you'll see it in action a little bit later.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really disappointing too because I felt like
We had some really good commentary for that other bit.
Good commentary when we were playing.
There was the multiple instances of Franz going through and getting killed in the sensor hallway ahead of us that we'll be seeing in a minute here. It took you like 4 tries.
Dude, that guy's neck is tilting in a way that shouldn't be tilting.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be sore when he wakes up.
Like his spine is bending the way that it should forwards, but backwards.
Oh yeah,
and that's not okay.
Yeah, and I got the suppressor for the SOCOM, by the way. So yeah, when the next episode comes out after this, by the way, just a forewarning. Oh god, I hate how aggressive that looks. It's so painful. But when the next episode comes out, it's going to have been recorded before this.
Be careful, Snake. That airlock is set with
And
infrared sensors.
It'll.
What is it?
I think
Probably
that's
can't
when we
see
finally
them
get the
from
audio
eyes,
stuff
but
sorted
there are
out.
infrared
Yeah,
beams coming out of that wall.
that session
Touch
where we
any one of
recorded
them and the
stuff
doors
after
will
this
seal off and the
after
place
the
will be flooded
sequence
with
Yeah.
poison
was
gas.
when we were sitting
Somehow
around
you've got to
doing
get through without
doing
setting off
pre-recording
those
stuff.
sensors.
Cody was doing the previews on our recording softwares, and I noticed I looked at him, pointed at the screen, and said, "Hey Cody, the OBS isn't getting
incoming audio.
incoming audio from the game."
I fudged it.
Nice.
Yeah. That's okay. I had a solution.
Right. Smoke cigarettes?
No. Just drop a grenade in the corner and wait.
Snake!
Yeah.
Whoa! I saw the blood come out of his face.
Oh yeah. Anyway, you were saying.
I pointed at the screen and I was like, OBS isn't getting audio from the game.
Yeah.
And then he goes through the settings and he sees that the audio Cody's got 3 audio outputs from what I see.
Yes.
One is a headset,
Yes.
and then one from each TV. So every time we were recording, a different audio input was being used. Oh, I forgot to say.
Why is your phone on?
I'm sorry.
Well, anyway, I made it through on this turn with my little snake shuffles, even though I retrospectively realized I could have just crawled, which is fine, I guess.
Also, the snake shuffle. You think?
Snake shuffle.
More like a snake shimmy. Snakes.
If you could, would you put a snake in an armbar? Fran's making faces at me.
like a chokehold?
No, I mean like an armbar. Like you take his arm and you put it in an armbar.
Use a mind detector.
No.
Who are you?
Snakes don't have arms.
Just call
That one does.
Think about a lizard.
Throat. The informant from the Watergate scandal. Never
Solid
mind
gecko.
about that.
Solid
Not using
gecko.
burst transmission. Are you
Is there
nearby?
a gecko in the
Listen,
list of
There's a
foxhound?
tank in front of your position waiting to ambush you.
No, there is
Who
not.
are you anyway? One of your fans.
Anyway, so for this portion where we're dealing with this, we found out the hard way that if you don't know how to defeat Vulcan Raven, the fight can take a very long time, which is why our previous footage was long. It took the better part of an hour, I think,
It took the better part of an hour.
to get past Vulcan Raven because Franz could not for the life of himself figure out how to do it. And I want to commend you. Your attempts were valiant and very impressive. You were figuring it out and you did have a strategy.
Yeah. Well, like, and I think that's the great pull about playing catch up is that you get to see the frustration that you had.
Yes.
When you were playing it. So there's a little bit of nostalgia, and then you get a little bit of rage, and then you feel bad for me.
Yes. Speaking of rage, the new to put a total absolute certain point in time on this episode, the DLC for Dark Souls came out today.
I didn't buy it.
I have the season pass, so I'm good. I'm good to go.
Now I'm poor.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, so yeah, this boss fight took Franz some time.
It took the better part of like an hour and a half.
Yeah. I beat him on my second try. First
Yeah.
try.
Um,
Both times. No, it took me a second try, I think, on the first time.
on the first run, you beat him on the second try. Like after maybe a half hour of me like faffing about and like understanding the fight and like getting through it, and like
Snakes don't belong.
I'm still going with my mentality that 80% of the gaming community has played Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'm just gonna completely spoil the gimmick for this.
Yeah.
You throw grenades into the tank, and I for the life of me couldn't figure that out.
No.
Because normally when you play like first-person shooters or like the best equivalent I can think of to a third-person game that also has grenades is Gears of War.
Okay.
And when you play Gears of War, you get a grenade arc.
Yeah, you do. It shows you the arc.
In this, it's like the jump mechanic in Mega Man, where the longer you hold A, the
better
further,
you get.
Like the higher up you go.
Yeah.
So like in this, the longer you hold X or A, because this is the GameCube version, even though we're using PS4 controller.
No, shut up.
You just you hold A and then it goes further.
Yeah.
So like I couldn't understand that because there were arcs.
Yes.
And I couldn't see them, and I was getting super frustrated. Even like I knew how to finish the fight.
And there was a lot of stuff going on that you were figuring out. You were like, we were putting down C4 under the tank treads. We were putting down. I almost died right away, by the way.
Right in the face.
Yeah, instantly. But we were trying. You tried putting down C4 under the tank treads. You tried throwing chaff grenades to throw off the targeting system of the tank.
Yep.
You tried shooting the guy in the turret, which does work.
It does work, but it takes a long time.
Yes, it does. Oh, jeez.
Oh, what was that?
That was steam popping up for a second in the video, but it's not going to show up, so I'll just cut this audio out, which is fine. God!
No, it's
No,
fine.
I think it's in the recording, because I remember it hitching and me not knowing why. That might be what that
Okay.
is. We'll see, whatever.
Nah, we'll be fine.
But as
no,
I was...
like we did so much problem solving, but I got super frustrated. I was still having fun,
Yeah.
even though I was failing. But like after half an hour, I was like, we need to move on.
Yeah.
I don't want this session to just be another like hour of me up.
Also, look at this. He crushes me twice, and I can't get up.
Life alert can help.
Oh, man, was it the worst.
But anyway, I get super frustrated and I hand Cody the controller because I'm like, dude, it's gonna get done. I prefer it get done. I'm just super upset right now.
Yeah.
And he goes immediately on the next life, throws a grenade right into the tank.
I got into such a good rhythm that I was throwing grenades in perfect sequence, so the instant that the next guy was coming out of the turret at the top of the tank, you would watch the grenade land in his lap as he sat up.
Yeah.
It was at the point where I was running around the tank, grenades in hand, shouting the Metal Gear theme song, and Franz was looking at me with befuddlement and anger.
Yeah, I was... you know, it's funny, the grenade went into the guy's lap and he didn't decide to throw it out.
Yeah, one of those things. So this is the one thing that got me is I wasn't doing it as well as I did the first time, because I waste most of the grenades just trying to like combo them in the tank.
Right.
Like that one doesn't quite go in, but it still does damage, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
But when you get that actual cinematic cam, it shows you the actual like camera jumps to the guy getting the grenade in his lap, and he's just like, oh well, there goes every child ever that I could have had. Yeah,
there
that
goes. He like reared back.
He's just like
he was.
"Oof, what was that?
Oh man.
I love this fight though. It is really, really good. It's not super difficult, but it takes practice to figure out what you're supposed to do.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot of trial and error.
Like, and another thing that I've noticed from these MGS playthroughs is every boss has at least 2 or 3 different ways that you can tackle him.
Yes.
Like Revolver Ocelot, like the proper way would be like wait for him to run out of bullets, dodge the bullets that he's ricocheting off the walls, and shoot him in the face.
Yes.
The method that I used is cheese it by running figure eights around the hole that you went through,
Yes.
and let the bullets go through that, and
Because
then when
they-
he's out, just shoot him in the face.
Because they don't bounce off the walls. I also found out that you can actually do tactical leaning when you're in your first-person shoot mode, and actually lean around the corners to shoot him.
Oh wow!
I found that out while I was doing the re-recording of those first 4 videos.
I can't believe you shoot him in the face.
Like I said, I almost killed him on the first try, so I actually had to intentionally get killed a couple of times.
Nice.
To Franz's credit, his attempts were super good, and he did do the entire first session by himself. I'm trying to stay as hands-off as possible, but when it gets to a point where Franz is totally stuck and just is completely out of steam,
Well done.
I'll pick up the slack.
Yeah. Like it's more like I understand it, but it usually as soon as I get to the point where I understand the fight, I'm so frustrated that I can't do it properly.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure gamers everywhere, you have definitely, where you've gotten so frustrated at a fight and you know like you understand the mechanics so well, but you're just so frustrated at that point that you just can't do it.
I play Dark Souls.
I know. So do I. Best thing I can think of is like Luke playing Bloodborne.
Oh man,
I can't do it.
Oh, so my cousin Luke is an amazing, amazing young man. He is only like a few months younger than me. And
he was older.
No, he's young. I'm the oldest of
Oh, wow.
of the cousins. And
Hey, me too, bum.
hey. And he's not a huge gamer, but he does like video games. He does appreciate them and you know what they are and everything. But he's not a huge like gamer like I am. Like sit down for 8 hours and just disappear into another world. But when Bloodborne came out, he tried to play it, and his buddies were like, "It's super fun, you'll love it." And he couldn't get into it because he wasn't good at it. He didn't know any of the mechanics because he'd never played a Souls game before. And then he was like, "Yo, get a PS4 because I want to play Destiny with you." And I was like, "I don't want to." He's like, "Come on, man, it'll be fun." I'm like, "Okay." So I get a PS4, have no fun playing Destiny because he doesn't play anymore, and I'm bored. So I buy Bloodborne, which is the entire reason I bought the console in the first place, aside from that. So I start playing Bloodborne, and he comes over to check out what I'm doing, and he's like, "How'd you do that crazy move where you just stab the guy in the stomach?" I'm like, "You mean a visceral attack that you get from parrying someone?" He's like, "Wait, what?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, there's a bunch of mechanics in this that I am willing to bet you did not know about." And he's like, "All I was doing was regular attacks." I'm like, "You poor man."
Poor unfortunate soul.
Eventually, he actually got all the way to the end of the game, and when he got to the DLC portion, he started playing it, and like I've never seen him play a game this hard before, ever. Like ever. It got to the point, and this is a guy who usually will play like tops about 4 hours in a session on average.
Yeah.
And he put in, I think it was like 22 hours in like 3 days trying to fight Orphan of Kos, and he was like losing sleep over it, and he was coming home super pissed off. He's like, "I don't know what to do." He's like, "It's ruining my life that I can't beat this boss. Please help me." And I went in and I helped him a bunch, but we're both getting our asses kicked. And eventually he beat it. And then he comes over and checks me. He's like, "You having a hard time with Orphan of Kos?" I'm like, "I beat it on my second try." He's like, "What?" I'm like, I learned it because I was helping you.
I learned it watching you.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's where they keep the nuclear warheads.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
I learned it watching you,
there's lots
Dad.
of boxes piled up in here, but
I'm sad that we didn't get the raw version of this video as it was originally intended, with its hour and like 10 minutes worth of footage and really amazing like recording stuff. Because what did you think of the Vulcan Raven fight? We haven't got very much longer on the video.
It was very fun.
It was very
I
fun.
really liked it, even though I was frustrated for it. You know what you should do?
What's that?
Do a what is it, part 6, right?
This is part 5 or 6, yeah.
All of the warheads in
Do
those
like a
boxes have had their
5.5 or
detonation
6.5 or
mechanisms
whatever it is.
removed,
Just
so
do a
there's no fear of them
super cut of like all the
exploding. But if
stupid
the
things and
warheads are
put
broken,
stupid
they might
music
leak
over it.
I don't know
plutonium,
if I have the
that would be a
footage anymore. I'll have to check.
serious
If you don't have it, it's fine.
Yeah, life goes
Never
on.
use your weapon on
Yeah.
that floor.
We've
Well,
got a
anyway,
little
this
bit
is
left.
part 5 or 6.
Yeah, here's the end.
Yep.
Alright, that is the end of that.
Yeah. Y'all have a good day.